In my last video, I talked about how one of the most easiest and most structured ways to move abroad is through an employer that offers work visa sponsorships. So in this video, I'll talk about how I got my first big tech job, because for most people, that's the biggest challenge. My first job after BTech was in Verizon. I had only one CS related subject as part of my degree, which was in electrical engineering. But that didn't really stop me from getting a job in IT, because I did develop some basic skill set to just enough to crack the interview. So the great thing about the early jobs like the one that I had was that they do offer you technical training before they actually move you into the role that they hired you for. And that's the great thing about some of these early jobs. They give you this sort of formal training in SQL, in other languages that they expect you to work on during your full-time job. And so having that sort of early job, which isn't just unique to my employer, that was Verizon at that time, but also other companies like Infosys and TCSs, that they give you that sort of foundation through a well-structured training course, and that really will set the foundation for you to make your way into your dream big tech job. So don't underestimate those early jobs that you get. Getting a job is more important than actually that fancy profile in lead or just lead coding your way. Right, you could do that. That's one of the ways, but that's not really the way I started. I started by really a normal backend SQL job, where I was just debugging issues, writing scripts, and sometimes creating production issues, and other times resolving production issues. So the thing is, you don't really need to have that big fancy AI ML job straight out of college. You can start with these companies that give you an opportunity to learn and grow from there. After a couple of years in backend coding, working as an offshore point of contact for the database team, creating SQL queries, I decided I'd had enough of IT, and I thought that the best way to transition away from IT was to go get my MBA degree. And that's where I got an internship in a field of my choice, which was retail marketing. But the irony is, no matter how much I try to move away from IT, I always thought of IT as a way to elevate the work that I was doing. So even in this retail marketing internship, I created a app that helped the sales associates cross-sell and upsell products. And when I created that app, the company instantly offered me a role as a product manager. And I was like, no, I don't want this role, because my whole point of starting MBA was to get away from IT. So I did not accept that role, which was ironical, because my final placement was also in an IT related field. So I did join a company that employed me as IT manager, taking care of ERP solutions. So it was not really a tech field, it was a tech adjacent field where I was managing the ERP system for one of our big supply chain consumer good companies. But even having that sort of tech adjacent skill set is quite important, in at least in my journey. If you work with SAP, you know it's not cutting edge, it's not leading innovation, but it's at least good enough to get your foot in the door for a company, for having a brand name and on your CV. And I guess that also helps. So I think having those kind of jobs which are not cutting edge IT, but at least tech adjacent, is also one of the ways you can make your way into big tech. And so by learning and Understanding these ERP systems, I eventually got a job with a manufacturing plant, and that's where I really got a chance to make impact. So sometimes these small manufacturing IT or plant IT jobs are also super helpful, because when you are in a smaller or you are in a role that has a much smaller scope, you have more autonomy and more opportunity to create impact. And one of the ways in which I created impact was that I had a conversation with my leadership, and I spoke to them that all these digital transformation, manufacturing of the future, or industry 4.0 was the keyword at that time. I convinced them that really these kind of things don't really work in a plant environment unless you have a robust network infrastructure. And so I got a project, or I pitched for a project where I got funding to transform the network and infrastructure landscape of the plant. And that really was, how I finally got into this place where I was implementing network and infrastructure at a very small scale. And that eventually led me to applying to Microsoft. And Microsoft has hyperscale data centers. So I knew what the job was, but it was actually at a much larger scale. So I plan to still apply for it, because the job description was something that I was already doing, but I was doing it at a smaller scale. So my big takeaway here is that even those jobs where you have a lot more scope, but they are not really the fanciest jobs, and maybe you're not working in the fanciest cities. I was in a very, very small town, which was not even it was, I think, 50 kilometers away from a tier 2 city. Even in those kind of environments, if you get the chance to be autonomous and to do something transformational, that may actually land you your next big tech job. So I think this was a bit of a spontaneous video, but what I think I really wanted to share with you is that even if you don't have the fanciest BTech degree, you're not a CS grad, and you don't know how to lead code your way into big tech and get your dream job, you can still follow some of these options that I just shared. You could start off with companies that are some of those mass placement companies, but they give you a good foundation because they have training programs that could help you build that technical skill set for that resume, that may get you a shortlist. You may also be in these tech adjacent fields which are not cutting edge ML or AI, but good old ERP systems with their heart at the right place. And you could still be in a field which is IT related, and even then you could turn your resume into something that is IT related or tech related. And then finally, as I mentioned, trying to strategically stack your experience in a way that may help you crack a tech job, like working in a smaller company where you have a lot more autonomy to do things. That could also help you land your next big tech job. So I hope you like this video. This is a bit of a spontaneous video, but it's straight from the heart. And if you have any more questions, how you can get your big tech job, or how you could move abroad through an employer that offers work visa sponsorships, feel free to leave a comment and I'll be happy to answer. Bye.